Dear colleagues and friends, very warm welcome. We are all in Paris for our yearly flagship meeting of this community, our interventional community. So welcome home. Each course is a different one. This one is very special because we're celebrating the 30th anniversary. In fact, it is 30 years ago that this adventure started in Toulouse, France, because at that time, Professor Jean Marcot and Jean Fajadet have decided to create a new course in Toulouse. And Jean is back. Welcome. Jean, reflect for a moment on these early days. I'm sure you remember it as if it was yesterday. So when you reflect back on the first course, what comes to your mind in the first place?
What comes in my mind, first of all, is very emotional for me because 30 years journey is it's a lot, and it was fantastic adventure. And what comes in my mind to come back to the first course, first of all, it was in this really small committee. I think we were no more than 150 people. The course was at this time called the first percutaneous complex coronary angioplasty course. And was complex coronary angioplasty course because at that time we have a single device, the balloon catheter, what we call the PTCA balloon catheter for percutaneous transluminal coronary angioplasty balloon catheter. And because we want to extend the treatment of simple lesions to more complex lesions, we design this course and we invite as co-director Gatsby Carton and Jeff Harsler.
So, Jean-Marc, yourself, you invited Jeff Harsler and Pickerton to be co-directors with you at that time, and you were pushing the envelope, doing more complex cases already at that time.
Yeah, we invited these two guys, and particularly Jeff Harsler, because he was very skilled with just a balloon catheter again for the treatment of more complex lesions like multivessel disease, acute MI, and it starts to do left main angioplasty with just a balloon. Yeah. And so that's the reason why we invite these people, these guys.
Yeah, we don't want to, spend all the time about the good old memories, but we have to be honest that the results at that time were not what they are today. I mean, restenosis rates as high as 40% within the first 6 months, and even the acute outcome of the procedure was somewhat unpredictable, right? So you could use some help from experts and from everybody else in the audience.
Sure, and at that time, and this is an anecdote I can reveal now, I can tell you to our guests, our friends, at that time for the first PCI procedures, I was connected by an earphone to Jeff Harsler and Jean Marcot during the procedure. And so during the procedure, they can give me online, advices on the size of the balloon, the pressure of the balloon, the length of the balloon, the duration of the balloon inflation, and what was most important, how to deal with coronary artery dissection, which was the main, the main issue during the procedure.
So when you decided to create the course, what were your objectives and what was your long-term vision? Did you anticipate it would last for 30 years?
We do not anticipate that it will last for 30 years, honestly. The goal was to, because we moved for simple lesion to more complex lesion, to favorize, to have build a platform of exchanges between all the peers in order to answer to quite a simple question. what to do practically to treat this kind of lesion, this particular lesion, how to reduce the risk of acute complication, how to try to improve the clinical outcome of this patient. That was, the goal at the beginning, sharing experience and offer a platform of exchanges for all the peers.
So that was the objective at the time, and I guess it still is the case today, because I cannot refrain from asking, procedures have evolved dramatically, and still, year after year, we meet. So why is it that we stick together as, the interventional community?
And this is a great question, because we are now with the area of, exchanges of by internet, all the different media, the result, data, videos of cases. So what do we need still a course like that? I think this is first because we have now a multiplicity of, devices available to all the community. And second, we have now a diversification, extension of the different fields of intervention in structural, peripheral, intracerebral, etc. And so we still need this platform of exchanges in order to, be updated on the new techniques and the new technologies.
So what you're saying is that the need was and is still there, and perhaps even more now that, interventional medicine has expanded to what it is today. So we certainly have tried to improve on the content of the course, to make it ever more practical, hopefully impactful and useful to your practice and patient-centered. So before leaving you, Jean, and maybe you want to say a final word here in the audience to the colleagues.
Yes, first of all, I will wish you a beautiful course for all the next 3 days. And second, I would like to tell you, really on the personal note, how privileged I feel to be part of this journey and sharing this journey with all of you. I wish you a beautiful and nice Congress, nice meeting, nice course.
Thank you, Jean. So listening to Jean, what is, I guess, striking is that over the years, the trust is built within this community, but also the founding principles that Prof. Marco and Jean had from the beginning are still there. Everything has changed. The cath lab, the environment, the procedures, the technique. But one thing has not changed. It is the culture, the spirit of the course. Let's have a look.
Thank you for what you give to your patients, to your colleagues, and to your discipline. Thank you for what you do, better and better, day after day, and with such dedication. Thank you for your learning mindset. When you're alone, when sharing with your peers. We are all colleagues, fellows, mentors. We are as one, a heart team, a global community, connected by the same passion, sharing important moments. we are friends with the same goal. That's why we are not alone. That's why we is better than I. We are companions.
So why is it that we stick together for so many years? What is it? What is the super glue? What is the link between us? After much thought, we came to the conclusion that the link goes beyond the sharing of experience and the exchange of know-how and knowledge. And some of you have expressed it with important words like trust, companionship, teaching, mentoring. So all these keywords show that the link goes beyond, and it probably involves our values and also emotions. As far as I'm concerned, when I joined EuroPCR, I had no idea how transformative this would be for my professional life, but also for my personal life. So the experience of each of you, of each of us, as a PCR companion is different, just like it is for AJ, Vijay, Haitam, or Alain. So listen carefully.
Interventional cardiology is an amazing, unique subspecialty that works together as a community and togetherness, where we are dependent on one another, starting at one's own workplace with someone that you trust, value, respect, teaching you and inspiring you, leading on to investing your own efforts to stimulate, encourage, nurture, and strengthen the next generation. Joining the national, local, and international community that share your passion, enthusiasm, and interest, coming together as companions in our journey, supporting and being there for one another, with the ultimate goal of providing the very best care to our patients that entrust their hearts and their lives in our hands. Thank you.
As I look across this auditorium, I'm reminded by friends and colleagues in my life that have made me stand here today. Their mentorship, guidance, generosity, and humility is only overshadowed by their brilliance in the medical field. Yet, with a kind demeanor and a pleasant smile, they draw you into their world to drink from their font of knowledge. They make you feel as a partner, an equal, and nothing less. Above all that, what is felt and learned is an overwhelming sensation of belonging to a larger family. This contagious emotion is what connects us as individuals on a larger scale, crossing boundaries, language, religion, and race. This ultimate companionship, a true unity of nations within these walls, is bound by a higher common goal: to learn, to teach, to exchange, to improve, to empower, and ultimately better help our patients. I'm reminded by the poet Rumi, who said, "When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving, a joy." As I stop and reflect on this special year of EuroPCR, I cannot but smile with joy as I remember all the companions who have helped me along the way.
This beautiful word, companionship, which looks like being the flag of the EuroPCR this year, is very meaningful to me. If I have a look on my entire career, companionship was always there and appears to be the common denominator of my last 40 years. It was also crucial when I was learning myself medicine, cardiology, and cardiac catheterization, because we didn't have interventional cardiology at that time in the late 60s, early 70s, with my bright teachers who accepted to transmit their knowledge and who accepted also to work on my side day after day. Because of this example, when came to me the time of teaching myself, the youngest, I tried to put the partnership, the companionship, as a higher degree. And the goal was to sharpen the medical practice, the behavior, and the technical skill of the youngest for the good of the patient. Companionship has been also absolutely decisive in the field of my research program and for the development of innovative technology, of which TAVI is the most important example. I had around me a group of people, a small team of very close colleagues, cardiologists, cardiac surgeons, engineers, nurses and technicians, with whom we had permanent exchanges. Actually, these people were not only, I would say, partners or good friends. They did constitute a very solid group of companions who were moving forward to allow finally the possibility of implanting a transcatheter valve safely to human. I will finish with an image. On the 16th of April 2002, when we did in Rouen, with my colleague Elena Chaninoff and Christophe Tron, the first-in-man case of TAVI, I can tell you that there was a single heart beating in multiple chests, those of my companions all along this adventure, and who has been sharing the emotion and the tears. I would say that companionship has always been for centuries, today, and will remain in the future, the holy word for all of those who want to practice or improve their medical practice. Thank you very much.
In PCR, I have met companions with real passion for learning and teaching, people who are at the same time learners and mentors of young, in both community and in daily work. Experiencing with PCR companion, I felt like in PCR, people care about me and all of us as each being a very important person. They like to do what is really needed for us to become better and better, and you can count always on their support. Indeed, beyond the companion mindset, which was very motivating to me, I had several advantages from the PCR community, including interaction with experts to have some advices for cases, having access to the most updated technology and content, having the opportunity to share my experience and to improve my skills and my knowledge. Overall, these benefits from the PCR community and the exchange helped me to feel more and more confident and to improve my everyday practice. And finally, to improve my patient care, which is our primary goal. Thank you.
Course of complex coronary angioplasty in 1994. I was still a student at medical school. I was enthusiastic of live transmissions, and I could understand what was going on, even if I was not yet a cardiologist. Those French doctors on the big screen were teaching to me from the basic up to more sophisticated tips and tricks how to open coronary arteries without having superpowers. A professor sitting next to me went up to the stage and presented the Beniston trial results. I realized that this was something great, a clinical revolution. After 4 days of hard teaching and hard learning, all together, professor, attendees, nurses, technicians, and fellow like me have a great party all together. It was my first international congress, and from the beginning, I felt companions with peers. I have attended EuroPCR almost every year since 1994. I saw it moving from Toulouse to Paris and growing up so big to include most interventional cardiologists of the world. At the same time, I grew up myself. I improved my interventional skills, but still I'm learning from my peers on the big screen, and I'm enthusiastic of live transmissions and proud of sharing my experience at EuroPCR.
If one thinks that Europe has different levels of practices, then I can assure you Asia will pose a much bigger and larger challenge. After all, Asia is the largest continent with the biggest population of about 4.5 billion people. The variance in practice between different countries is wide. And in fact, even different centers within the same country can be as wide. AICT Asia PCR, of which I'm part of, is aimed to help to bridge this gap and to merge the minds and practices to get the best of the East and the West. Specifically with regards to physician training, of which I'm passionate about, I find that the training programs that PCR set forth or put forth is with the concept of vital concept. Vital meaning visionary, transformative, adult learning. This concept actually is able to strongly promote appropriate sharing of ideas, knowledge, and experience. With this involvement, I feel deeply privileged, honored, and proud to be part of the PCR family.
Companionship, for me, it is PCR. Professor Jean-Marco was able to create and share an environment that allowed me to understand some essential principles of education and completely transform my vision and my way of communicating and teaching. I understood in particular the need to question the audience expectation, question the habits, to have an open mind, to be flexible, and then to have the opportunity to adapt myself in order to strengthen the learning outcomes. I understood also that adult education is sharing and learning from each other. It is a sharing learning process, and it is thanks to the time devoted to the vital courses set up by Alan Spencer and Magali Brere. I also met some outstanding people, and together we have made progress to offer to our colleagues, with empathy and collegial respect, the opportunity to improve daily care of our patients.
Thank you. Thank you for these wonderful testimonials and personal thoughts. By the way, why don't you join me? I feel a bit lonely here. So, after a 30-year-long journey, perhaps the time has come to voice what we stand for all together. The time has come for us to state loud and clear to the outside world what our community is passionate about, what are our values. So we did write it down in a charter, the PCR charter. Have a look at it, read it, reflect on it. It's on the website. I'll give you a couple quotes. The needs of the patient will always come first. We are committed to lifelong learning. We are working for our successors. So we hope that you will read this charter, adhere to it, and in doing so, we will inspire and empower the next generation to continue to improve patient care for the 30 years to come. So please join us and adhere to the charter. Let's tell to the outside world what we are standing for. So my dear friends, the time has come to kick off the meeting. So wish you a great week. Every day, please make sure you meet all your old friends and every day make new friends. I can proudly state that from this moment, EuroPCR 2019 is in your hands. And